The inception of the project was from Benjamin Ross, who created this with his co-writing partner Barry Langford, and he directed all of the episodes as well, so it could legitimately be said to have come out of one person's head, which is very unusual now in British television drama, and I'm guessing the US as well, where most stories, most commissioners and most writers like to depend on some kind of source material to guarantee the outcome of what they're writing. But Ben made this up. I've been working with him anyway. He put down the essence of the story, almost in the form of a short story rather than a regular treatment, and sent it to me, and I just thought, this is fantastic. It fed into all of the sorts of genres that I really enjoy, and I think it came out of he studied English literature at Oxford, so he's very deeply immersed in that whole kind of world of books and history.
It's not an adaptation of the book, and the book in itself is actually features in the show, as does Mary Shelley. It happens some years after the book has been written. And as John Marlett, played by Sean Bean, is investigating the murder of several young people that they find as a composite on the shore of the River Thames, right in the opening scene, and really as a kind of straightforward investigative piece. But what he experiences right in the opening scenes of the film, he thinks that it moves and it comes back to life. And there is that essence of the supernatural and the horror, and it's just a little bit, it's enough. And his investigation therefore takes him down the more procedural route of who would commit these murders, but also who might be able to do this. And that's the twist, that's the hook.
Sean was very loyal to the project because he read a script quite early on, and his agent read it and thought it was something he would enjoy, and he read it and was attached to the project for quite a while. It took us to develop it and get it finally financed and ready, so we're really indebted to him for that, because we're in no doubt that people will tune in because they want to see what Sean's doing next.
And he had to buy into it. I mean, he's in nearly every scene, and this was a long, demanding shoot in Belfast during the winter, but it's all him. It's absolutely on screen, and in a way, it's part of the design of the show that distinguishes it from possibly other shows in and around this genre, period, branded, mashups, all that kind of stuff. It looks and feels very different. It's set in pre-industrialised, pre-Victorian London. So it's not your Ripper Streets and all very good shows, but this is a time where London was a much smaller place and actually much more rural. That's why Belfast works great for us. And it's some of the locations we shot in are aesthetically very, very kind of bleak and powerful, and that really lends to the kind of darkness of the drama.
I mean, in quite a few scenes, you can see the breath coming out of their mouths when they're having conversations, and that was because we were standing outside and it was freezing cold. So it really shows, it feels cold. I'm aware of the number of shows that are out there that are in not quite the same but similar territory. I think we're describing our show much more of a mystery than a horror show or a supernatural show, because although it has elements of those, if people come to it just expecting gross out horror, they're going to be very disappointed, because it's much more sophisticated and subtle than that. I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that traditionally these genres were seen as the province of feature film market. And there were reasons for that were historic, and they were also to do with the fact that they required lots of effects, and television didn't have the money, and we weren't sufficiently technically advanced to deliver the sorts of effects that are required. And actually, when you look at old shows, like old sci-fi shows for TV that did this, I mean, they're just so hokey, it's unbelievable. And people watching feature films are used to having very sophisticated effects delivered to them, but now we can do that on television budgets. And we can tell these stories over 6 hours rather than 2 hours, and they're worth investigating. And I think this is one of the reasons why audiences are coming to them. They're fashionable at the moment. I'm sure that within the next 6 months the commissioners will all be saying, no more horror, supernatural, you know.